kingdom right now, but because the Lord put that on your spirit, Doc, I'm going to say to tie those two precepts together, right? You know what I'm saying? He said that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter. I want you to read that again real quick, and I'm just going to come out just real quick.
God, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath.
Okay, so understand, right? Hold on. What did he say in here? He said, because the Lord is the avenger of all such, as we have also forewarned you and testified. Now, if you read Romans 14 and real quick, buddy, all right?
I got it.
Because he said, give place unto wrath, right? Now, you read this precept and then let it be known that, like, yeah, my brothers, you know what I'm saying, may do something that I disagree with, you know what I mean? And they might even, like, come out on a video against me or whatever the case may be, but there's a couple like him here that know, right? I'm going to preach what the Lord told me to preach. I'm going to be a brother, and the Lord going to deal with that brother. And a lot of times he'll put that light on that brother later on down that road, and you could be that example to not do that thing, you know what I'm saying, that he did. Or very simply just to stand on the scripture when it say repay not evil for evil or railing for railing, man. You know, but you got to be that example. Bring that Romans out, Salak.
I got it.
Romans. Got it? All right.
You got it?
Yeah,
go. You say 14 and 4, right?
Yeah.
It's Romans 14 and 4. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holden up. For power is able to make him stand.
Okay, because remember, we talking within the brotherhood, and if it's truly a brother, right, the Lord said that the Lord is going to make him stand. The Lord said, who art thou that judgest another man's servant? Because remember, his order, and he gave it to his disciples when he was here, was that we would be sitting on the 12 thrones ruling the tribes of Israel. But the 144 themselves would be ruled by Yahweh Shai, who himself is ruled by Yahweh. And there's no interrupting that order. You know what I mean? Now, as we waking up on this earth, right, that's why he gave us the other precepts, right? You have to learn from another man. And the man that brought you in, you ain't got no business rebuking him, but you admonish him as a father. You know?
Right.
And that's the whole thing, because it was going to take men to bring other men up on their feet, but we all come up to the point to where when you are a man, you are a servant of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And at that point, we all have one commandment. You know what I'm saying? Love your brother as yourself. And that's keep the commandments towards your brother just like you would do it for yourself or for your Lord. You know what I'm saying? In completion, man.
Matter of fact, I got a precept of what you just said. I mean, you go bring your one out first. I hold this one. Just because it's something he said, I would just happen to be reading something.
Con. I mean, that's the spirit, you know.
Con. This, you want to go first?
Anwar, bring it out.
You go ahead, Anwar.
All right, Con. This is, because you basically, you know, we can't keep anybody in this truth, you know. The Lord directed the man's steps, you know. This is Proverbs 16, verse 9. It says that man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Right. So the Lord directeth people's steps, man. You know, whether they walk out, whether they fall out, you know, that's their lot, man. Because eventually, this truth is either for our salvation or our destruction. You know. So I just want to get that out real quick.
Would you add the boy?
I just happened to be in Romans, and you was talking about loving your brothers and stuff like that. This is Romans 13 and 9. 8 Salakia. It say, owe no man anything but to love one another, for he have the love of another have fulfilled the law.
Which that's spiritual, because at the very end of the day, you see what I'm saying? When it comes to the law, and Brother War, you know, we did a video on this before, you too, Shamya. When it comes down to it, we cannot do the law 100% perfect. You see what I'm saying? So what you have here, right? So what you have here right now is a situation where, okay, we can't do the law perfect. Everything that we do is based on faith. Works will not guarantee salvation. So one of the core things that you can do in this word is to love your brother. That's why the scriptures even tell you that if it's at all possible, be at peace with all men. Because like the brother the bar was saying. The bar Yahweh, like he was saying, man, you got these guys out here thinking that they can rise up against Esau and shit like that. That can't happen. What does the Lord say in the book of Romans? He said, be subject to the powers that be. For him that wrestleth against the powers that be, wrestleth also against the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
And that's also to protect you from the fact that we have confusion of faces out here. So you don't know who you don't know who you're going up against out here in this world, man.
And that goes more to the wheat and the tares. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't never know what we're plucking up. You know what I mean? But and I mean, go ahead. Yeah, exactly that, and what Matazar was getting into. You know what I mean? Like the Lord, he sets up kings. You know, that's something I was going into heavy today. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody dies, poverty and riches, you know what I'm saying, the kings and all of that, that's set up by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? And he set this up for a certain time, and it was set up for our purpose. You know? Yep. And that was, you know, if you watch it, that was the main transgression of Judas, okay? He really wasn't about that money, man. He was known as a zealot, and he was trying to rush it. He's like, man, if I get these dudes to run up on the Lord going to bring cataclysm right now. But, nigga, it's not your timing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not for you to decide. You know what I'm saying? The Lord himself came down here, suffered, taught us, brought out all the parables perfectly, had his instructions to follow out, but yet you want to cut him off from his glory, man. You know, and continuing the whole thing. And by him doing that, the Lord knows what it is, right? He knew what was in his mind, but the Lord directed his path to where he still made the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai come forth. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter what we thinking in our own heads, man. What the Lord causes us to do is going to cause his will to come forth, man. And that's a beautiful thing, man. You know?
I mean, just to ask the question, why do you think the scriptures even say, haste not above thy maker, man? Because all things are for his purpose. We were brought into this captivity to serve the purpose of being sifted. Plain as that. You see what I'm saying? So like the brother just explained, that was the biggest problem with Judas Iscariot. It's not like he was really interested in that bread. He wanted to hurry up and bring the kingdom for us by having the Lord having to defend himself against everybody what's going to come against him. You see what I'm saying? Forcing his hand.
Trying to upset prophecy and stuff, you know?
Exactly, bro.
You know? That eventually that's his will, you know? And really and truly, that spirit is in a lot of camps because you got a lot of agents and spies in this thing, man, ready to sell us. The spirit, when I was at camp today, I got into that, man. You know, niggas still want to play games and stuff, but it's not time to play games. We're supposed to be serious about this truth, man. Pushing it to our ability. You know, that's why the doors of mercy is closing. So when Yahweh Shem Yahshai bringing down this wrath upon our people, we can't say nothing because this truth is everywhere, man. You can get this anywhere, man. You know. So
if I may, can I bring out Romans 11 real quick just to back that up?
And I got something after you bring that out.
Yeah, this is the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, and I'm gonna start at verse 1 and read down to about 5. It says, I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid, meaning no. For I also am an Israelite. Now this is Paul speaking. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Verse 2. God hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. And even all over the so-called Old Testament, that proves it. You see what I'm saying?
As a matter of fact, I got a quick precept for you on that one.
Bring it, please, bring it.
Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord thy power, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
That's right.
Not consumed. That's right. That's why the scriptures even say that Israel's face shall not wax pale. And when you go deeper into that, that pale that is speaking of is dealing with fear and having a shaky spirit, because the scriptures even tell you that the Lord hath not given Israel a spirit of fear. You feel me?
Yeah. In Timothy's 2:15.
But ultimately that goes to the elect.
To the elect. And that was the whole reason I brought out Romans 11. Y'all know exactly where I'm about to go. But I'm gonna finish up. It says, God hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. Verse 4. But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to them to have not bound the knee to the age of Baal. And the word Baal simply means Lord. And that's talking about idol worship, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even verse 5, even so then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. You hear that?
Con.
And if then is it to Salakia, and if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise works is no more work.
Con.
Con.
And I'm gonna bring this out because we talking about the doors of repentance and shutting. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back into Genesis. Con. This is Genesis 7, and I'm gonna start at 15. And they went unto Noah in the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. We know that's dealing with those who understand the scriptures and was given the understanding, the wisdom. Basically Israel. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Yahweh had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. We don't know the time or place when it's going to happen, and it's going to take the Lord. The Lord had to shut them in because Noah would have got weak and like maybe letting niggas in that wasn't supposed to be there. It doesn't say that, but the Lord had to put the power and shut them in the ark, man. Because when these chariots come, it's not going to be a do you have your well it is going to be a situation where okay, you got your hand stamped. When you get your hand stamped to go in the club or whatever, we're going to have that mark of exemption on us, and the power of the Lord is going to get all of the elect up out of here before this place is obliterated,
Let me read this precept just real quick on what Ak was just saying, man, because understand, man, when Noah got in there, he had been prophesying for 100 years, man. But they didn't get to hear no more of that, you know what I'm saying? And when the rain started, right, he was already locked away and secured, right? And this is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, And bottom line is that this going to be closed up in that day, man. The ones that need to be sealed, and that's why we use that word when my election are sealed, the ones that need to be sealed in their hearts, their ab, you know what I'm saying, are going to be sealed in that day.
That's right.
And we're still going to be in certain places. We're going to be present, but they're not going to have the opportunity. All them people that ran past in videos or scrapped and laughed or whatever the case may be, they're sitting up here wondering why it is that every brother here that went and did some camp sometime this week, but we all on these videos or whatnot, why the elders wake up day in and day out and do this, right? It's because, man, this is the time to do it, man. We're staying firm, man. You know what I'm saying? We got fishing nets and fishing wires and everything else out every direction we can, man. But the Lord is going to tell us one day, man, pull in them rods, man. Pull up those nets, man.
Con.
Right?
Con.
Bring them in, man. And get to shore. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, right? And laugh at these demons as I deliver you through this shit, man.
Con, and he's gonna give us
I was proud as hell yesterday. Watch them, you know what I'm saying, as they quake to their souls, man.
Con.
But I was just talking about being pale in their face, but also I just wanted to bring out the small parable in there. You know what I'm saying? When your face is pale, it's because all the blood has drawn out of your face. You know what I'm saying? And you have the blood of Yahweh Shai, which is the essence, the life essence of this truth. You know what I'm saying? Pump it through every one of our actions, right? That's why we not weak, man. And he said his chosen, his select elect, okay? His singers, the 144, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we be among that number. He said, man, they don't go pale. Period.
Con.
You know?
That's right.
Con. And we're going to get a bird's eye view of that, man.
Very much so.
Con.
Somebody please hold St. Mark 13 and St. Mark chapter 13 verse 32 to about 33.
You want it now?
What was the first one?
It was St. Mark chapter 13 and 32.
I got it right here.
32.
Let me read this just to close off what we was talking about earlier about, you know what I'm saying, them acting like children, right? Not growing up, right? And so they're about to pay that price for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't become mature before that famine of the word came. They didn't cling to this thing before that door closed, right? This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. It says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. You know, and that lust of concupiscence overpowering you, that's a childish thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Not obeying your parents because you think it's cool to be a rebel, that's a childish thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Your impulses ruling you, those are childish things, man.
You know? The spirit of rebellion is childish, man.
Yes,
you know?
Salaki, by the way, Salakia, I meant to say read up one, actually. It's St. Mark chapter 13, verse 31 to 33.
31 to 30. Icon, I got you. This is Mark 13 and 31. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is.
That's right.
And that's important to understand for all these guys that's out here that like to scoff, for all these guys that's out here that's lukewarm in this truth. That's the main thing to understand, because it's a childish, and that's another childish thing. You see what I'm saying? Procrastination. You know what the truth is. You know exactly what it is that you need to do to be of this truth. You know what you have to sacrifice, but you procrastinate. You have an excuse for every time you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, gird up your loins as a man then. Go out there, or whatever service that is basically for you, whatever lot that you were given, you want to procrastinate in doing that.
And we have to keep in mind, right, we serve a power that was perfect in his plan. And he was perfect in his plan. He did this all for his son. And he had to shut his son out on certain things all the way up to the end, man. Including the timing, right? Because the Lord, he's that pressure cooker, man. We are just small versions of him. But he's so hot right now, man. He's so ready to go right now. But he's been taught ultimate patience, and that's what he's transforming with us. But it's one of my favorites. I got to bring it out. It's 1 Thessalonians 4:16. It says, right after Yahweh said, go, for Yahweh Shai himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of power, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So understand, man, when Yahweh say go, man, Yahweh Shai gonna raise up with that. And understand, man, it's gonna descend upon this place, man. That's the day in which we're supposed to be raising up with these people, man. The Lord said he gonna change our minds and give us perfect remembrance, and then he gonna open the doors of the chariots, bro. You're going to know everything these heathen did to you in this lifetime and every other one, and who they are by the Spirit, bro. You know, that's when we let it loose, and we knowing his perfect judgment, man, and knowing that the Lord himself has to wait on a go signal, man. That's how we know we got to wait on a go signal. And like y'all said, that disobedience is childish. And one thing you find a child can't never do is they can't wait. Nope. You know? They're impatient, man.
And that's why Esau, being a child that he is, he couldn't wait for that pottage to be cooked. He wanted it now, right now. You know?
Time. You know, and to be real with you, it's still fucking him up to this day, and the Lord is doing it to him in a grand parable, right? Because if he just waited for all these poisons that he got to kill us, and I'm not saying the Lord would allow it, right? But if he just waited for all these poisons to kill us or whatnot, and all of this shit that he done put out there, he'd be better off. But this dumbass demon is actually going to go through with the war that destroys his own kingdom, because he's fucking impatient, man. This dude is on top right now. Some childish shit, but you know, just like the first time, I appreciate you, Esau, for this one thing that you was dumb enough to give away your blessing, because it wasn't yours to begin with. You know?
That's right. That's right. Well, I quoted the scripture already in the Apocrypha. Riches are not comely for a niggard, man.
That's right.
And what is the definition of the word niggard? It means to be stingy. These damn crackers want everything for themselves.
That's right.
Done. And actually, it go to stingy with effort, really. That means you can't achieve anything. You know? Why is a nigga stupid? You know what I'm saying? Because he's stingy with his effort, so he won't study. Why is a nigga lazy? He's stingy with his effort, so he won't work. You know what I'm saying? But you know?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Why is it that we're paying for utilities that we should be able to naturally use for ourselves? Water, natural gas. electricity. These are things we should be able to utilize for ourselves, but everything is taxed and regulated, so it's hard for us to really even survive in a setup like this. So now Jake gotta turn to crime. Jake gotta turn to all kind of disgusting ways to be able to even live on this earth. Come on now, that goes to show you that this Edomite is base. And then now some of it's trickling into his own neighborhood. You even got Edomites in this kingdom. This is supposed to be their kingdom, and they broke, they poor, they're on the streets, they're begging. That should tell you something about these devils, man.
Also, that Jake, some of Jake's, you know, they got more money than Esau, man. You know, the lower ones. You know, they're way better. You know, all that stuff, man. That's to show you Edomites aren't even empowered to begin with, man. You know?
Well, like, you gotta look at it, young. Like, you got the people at the very top. Like, there is no Jake anywhere in the top echelon. You know what I'm saying? When you cut it off at like 8-9 billion, then they're in this league of their own, and there's these dudes out here that got tens, hundreds of billions. You got a couple of trillionaires or whatnot, and you have a set of quadrillionaires that work right underneath the Pope, man. You know what I'm saying? People look up at these Rothschilds, man. Those are the servants of the Vatican, bro.
Yes,
you know
they
what
are.
I'm saying? And look at that. They got a commission to be the bankers for the papacy back in, I believe it was the 18th century. You know what I'm saying? But you can look that up and confirm it, man. They are servants to them dudes that you see in them big ass.
Kind of was the 18th century. Yeah, you got it right.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? They're the servants to them that College of Cardinals. The College of Cardinals is the top group. You can look at the Bilderberg and the Council of Europe and all the rest of that shit. The College of Cardinals is that top group underneath the Pope, and they give the orders out to the rest of these cats. And you won't see a Jake nowhere near there. But like the Ox said, if a nigga is willing to be wicked, Esau will treat him better than one of his own people that has any bit of decency. Whereas I don't give a damn. Ain't no Edomite coming up over nothing in the kingdom. Who are you?
Them guys you see in the Catholic churches when they have them big events in them white and black robes with them red beanies on their head. That's what the guys he talking about. Now you have a black cardinal. Now I guarantee you he probably a tear.
Or a Hamite.
Or a Hamite.
Exactly. Well, but the funny thing is, the scriptures do say that Judah's hand shall be at the neck of his enemies. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, when it's all said and done, if there is Jakes up in that upper epsilon society, he may not have ranking or anything like that, but he might just serve them on a lower level, just to be there. You know what I'm saying?
You take Jake out, they makes it don't work. All the named out front priests, you know what I'm saying, going out to the music and the entertainment, and even the ones that be looking like them, that be us. But when you go to their power seats, you go down into Mexico, you know what I'm saying, they think they got a bunch of Issacharites up in their Congress, man. Them is Edomites, man. You know?
Vineyards, man.
But now this is why it's so important for us to, like the scriptures say, not to envy the wicked, man. Because at the very end of the day, the end of the wicked is destruction. If I may, can I get St. Luke real quick?
Done.
In 13. This is St. Luke. Yeah, St. Luke 13, starting at verse 22.
Done.
You ready out?
13.
Yeah.
St. Luke 13 and start at 22. And he went through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying towards Jerusalem. Then said one unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them, Strive to enter in at thy straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Keep going.
Hey, no, that's it. That's
really true. You might as well close. Because Yahweh Shah said it perfectly. He said, strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter and shall not enter, man. This is why it's so important for us to embrace the fact that we're in a low state, man.
Con. You know, and I wanted to make sure you brought that out straight, right? You know, we all know it, man, but for those that may need that edification, STRAIT means difficult gate. You know, people see the way the elders tell us to live, man. You know what I'm saying? All the things they tell us to shirk or whatnot. All the things we get out there and admonish and rebuke people to do that are tough as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? But you got to seek to the most difficult. We know if we're taking the easy path, something wrong, man. If the Lord ain't been whooping my ass, man, I'm on my knees praying like, Lord, why is there peace right now? Thank you for the break, but hey, bro, that's not for us. We supposed to be going through difficulty, man.
Kind of.
You know what I'm saying?
Trial.
Right, and you mentioned we had to be going through that straight gate, which means we had to go through that trial by fire. I got a quick precept. This is Ezekiel 15, and I'm going to start at 7. And I will set my face against them. They shall go out from one fire, and another fire shall devour them. And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I set my face against them. And I will make the land desolate because they have committed a trespass, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Who was that speaking of? That's what my question.
Well, he said everything that was will be, right? Right, we conquered the cup double, so understand, man, that when we came against him, you know what I'm saying, most specifically our people in general, but even what we did in our transgression, right, we ended up with his face against us, man. We ended up being made desolate, man. Right?
Desolate.
But understand, he gonna turn around and put all that on Esau, Edom, these heathen, the 2/3, man. You know, we've been through our desolation and the difference, and that's how he do it. And Salakia, you went into the 2/3 issue earlier. Somebody get that Zechariah 13:8 real quick.
And I'm gonna
read this.
I'm gonna make this point real quick. I was gonna say that not only do the elect have to go through that trial by fire, but you 2/3 gonna have to go through that fire by death, man. And you and these other nations, man.
And Khan, and the way I said it, so like it was a small piece. He said they're gonna run from a fire into a fire, cause you might have been outside of the zone where them nukes burnt people up, and you hopped in the car and you mashing out and this and that and the other. Man, didn't you see them chariots pick us up? What you think we doing now? Them chariots is coming for you, and you gonna get burnt the hell up out there wherever you at. Ain't gonna be no escaping in that day. Khan, the 2/3.
What is Zechariah? What now?
13:8. And then before you read that, I'm going to read this just real quick. This is Sirach chapter 2, and I'm just going to read 1-5 just real quick. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of
adversity. That is beautiful.
You know? I understand.
I got a precept after.
That's that fiery trial, you know, that's that straight way of adversity, man, because it's not going to be a clear path, you know, it's going to be a beaten path, it's going to be narrow, it's going to be obstacles, man.
Hey, bring that Zechariah real quick, and I think Manawar had one.
Alright. It's Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
That's right. You know. And bottom line, man, we gonna remember and we gonna remind y'all, man. 2/3 of you niggas is gonna die, man. You know what I'm saying? And world deserve it. You know, it's one thing, man, and that's cold, because you know he said, "Let your eyes spare not," bro. And that heavy shit that he sent me through yesterday, I've always been seeking that mindset, you know what I'm saying, and being there in the flesh. But that was the first time I ever stood in a full view with a multitude of people that were dead ass wrong that I knew personally. Well, my eye wasn't sparing for nothing, bro.
God.
He has to perfect your hatred and separate you from that compassion in this world and everything else. It ain't like, you know, he gonna bridge that gap, but the bottom line is what, man? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about blessings for our brethren, man. We're talking about maturity for our brethren, man. And you children, the Lord already said at the beginning of the lesson, man, you gonna pay for what you've been doing. Flat out, man. You know, we're not gonna spare in that day. You know, I had everything from old ass niggas, broken bottles, you know what I'm saying, or bottle bottles that would have been burst if you try to put this wine into it, to young ass wicked people. And then outside the line from where my family was gathering, you had literally hundreds of Jakes mixed in with Edomites and Sodomites going to this master Zumba class. And you could tell it was straight wickedness, man. You know, it took me a minute to find out that Aleister Crowley was actually the one that wrote the book on yoga, okay? But understand, if somebody find out the bottom of Zumba, I guarantee you it's going to be nasty just like that, man. They always try and make it seem harmless and shit. Has anybody here seen the break dancing?
Yeah, I think so.
Back to that's a destruction dance that was used to call upon the false goddess of violence, Shiva. And that's why they did it in front of CERN, and you can see them doing that. It's crazy to watch them or whatnot, but that's where that originates at, man.
You know, that religion, that false god Shiva, you know.
Done. You know.
Go ahead, bring it.
This is 1 Peter's 1:7, that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory, the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach. Right. So our faith is tried, man. You know,
right.
It's tried all the time, and it turns us into warriors, man, into future kings. Because when we're getting ready to judge these nations, you know, and judge these angels, we're gonna have to know what's wrong from right.
That's right.
Know all good and not know all bad, you know. So I just wanted to bring it out real quick because our faith is tried all the time, you know.
Well, and I'll read this one real quick. It's 1 Corinthians.
Hey, hold on now. Anybody else picking up distortion from the bar end? Is it something a little distorted?
Yeah, it might be something with my hookup over here. I'm good now.
Hey, nah. Can you do it without the headpiece, or you need the headpiece?
Salaki. Let me get this out.
Like, you be fine. I think it's just when you move either closer to the.
Yeah, the closer you get to the mic, it get distorted.
Oh, it's coming in too loud?
Yeah, you good now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had it turned up to my face too much. Salaki.
Alright, come.
Alright, this is 1 Corinthians 13:7. It say, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. You know, and this ain't about being loose and just believing in any damn thing. It says we're going to bear all things that the Lord puts on us. Okay? We're going to believe all things that he told us to do and told us is going to come. We have hope in all things that he said are about to come to pass, man, and we're going to endure any damn thing that he throws at us in order to keep his ways, man. You know? And
that's beautiful that you said that, because now I remember hearing this joke when I was younger, and now now after years, it actually has a spiritual meaning to it. I don't know if y'all heard this one before, but why is 6 afraid of 7?
Because
7, 8, 9.
Because 7, 8, 9. Now check this crazy stuff out, right? As we all know, 6, the number 6 represents number 6 represents what's the word? Imperfection. That's what the number 6 represents. You see what I'm saying? The number 7 is supposed to be representation of completion. Correct? All right. Now, what is the number 9 a representation of?
That's the Baphomet number,
that's like
death, really and truly. Like the brother said, the Baphomet. That represents death. Now, according to the scriptures, death shall be swallowed up in victory. What is that victory? The completion of this kingdom. The completion of the wicked rule. You see the spiritual meaning behind everything, showing you that when it's all said and done, everything was set up to do the Lord's will. God. And the Lord's will is written on everything, even down to the numerology that we use for the sake of measurement, for the sake of for the sake of proportion. You see what I'm saying? Going back to
heavily used. They use that all the time. Their shows, their movies, you know, they'll say it right in front of your face, man. You know,
Esau plays with that. Oh, Sloggy, my bad out.
It's all good. I just want to finish this up real quick. Like 9/11 in the scriptures, when the house of David rises up, we're gonna cause destruction destruction to this kingdom. You know,
That's right.
that reminds you of like when 9/11 actually happened. It was pure destruction. You know.
That's right. Con.
God.
Man.
If any
Anybody
anybody
have something? Because I got to close out, but I'm going to wait till the Spirit comes.
Con, I got a precept.
All right,
I got a precept.
Yeah, bring it out.
This is Amos 8:8. Shall not the land tremble for thus, and every one mourn that dwelleth therein? And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head.
Wait. Could somebody please read 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter and the 4th verse?
Hey, I'm gonna finish.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna finish this out.
Yeah,
You want to get that first? You want to get that first?
I'm sitting here on Corinthians.
Finish it out. Finish that precept out, because that was your part, and then get 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and read down.
Okay,
Beautiful.
time. Behold, the days
Well,
come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing of the words of the Lord.
That's right.
You know?
And who said it was?
I am. I'm sitting at it. You say 1 Corinthians 4.
Oh, Salakia. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 4 on down. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was a beautiful scripture you read, because once that famine hits, that's it. That's gonna be the ultimate door slamming on mercy, because us being out on the highways and byways and on the information highways pushing this earth, that's basically the time right now where you're supposed to be coming in and looking for that mercy. But guess what? Your eyes have been darkened. 2/3 of you, your eyes have been darkened, showing that you're not going to receive that mark of exemption. Instead, you're going to receive the mark of destruction. But somebody get it in second.
Now you know how you in a dark room and it's light outside and that door is shut and you can see that last little bit of light peeking through.
Light.
Or like in that movie with Will Smith, when they was waiting for it to get completely dark and the monsters, they was the light burned them, right? And they wait for that last little bit of darkness to cover the whole earth, and then they wreak havoc. That's what the Lord bring into this place, man.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, perfect. It's 2 Corinthians. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. It's all good.
All right, it's 2 Corinthians 4:1. Therefore, seeing we
1 and 4.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was just. Oh, okay.
You wanted 1 and 4 or 4 and 1?
Yeah, 1 and 4 on down. Come on, go ahead.
Okay. Who comfort us in all Salaki. You want to start at 4? Let me start at 3 then.
Actually, yeah, start at 3. Start at 3.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Blessed be Yahweh. I just had to say that. Sorry. Even the Father of our Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Father of mercies and the power of all comfort, who comfort us. Yeah, I had to read that. Who comfort us
had to get cut
in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of Yahweh.
Right. You hear that?
Okay.
Salakia, continue reading.
It says, for as the sufferings of Hamashiach abound in us, so our consolation also aboundeth by Hamashiach. And whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation.
This is why the scriptures say, woe, meaning destruction. Woe be unto them that are rich, for they have received their consolation. Our consolation is in the kingdom. This is why we forsake everything on this side, man. Because according to this word, when it comes down to it, when this setup is over, the the consolation that we're going to get is going to be an everlasting consolation, man. This is why I even brought out that 7, 8, 9 thing. It's spiritual, man. It's spiritual.
Okay, I got a precept of that last one because it talks about who is entitled to, in a sense. It says, the 2 Timothy 2:10.
Get it.
Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with eternal glory.
With eternal glory. You heard that? Eternal.
And you know, and people, and I'd say this, you know what I'm saying, in defense of the righteous brethren, you know, and obviously it's the GMS tag that gets attacked, man. But like people, they talk about how folks is too rough or we ain't got no compassion. They don't get to see the inside love. But one thing they should be able to see, man, we wake up every single day. We don't do this for no fame. We don't get dressed up all fancy, man. We take these curses, man. Israel didn't have to pay for figuring out what the lunar Sabbath was, man, or pushing it. You know what I'm saying? They got blessed with the effect of it. Some of the ones getting blessed with it was some of the people shooting darts at us. But it's cool, man. I wake up tomorrow and do it. We love to do it. You know what I'm saying? We go out in the battlefield for Israel, man.
God. The real men of the Lord is not looking at ISUPK or IUIC saying, man, but they do got some fly-ass garments, though. You know? we ain't in the mindset of that. We ain't in the spirit of that, man. We happy with our raggedy so-called bum attire, man. Because this place ain't
we
shit,
happy
man.
to be attacked, you know what I'm saying, for the work of the Lord, man. You know, we're not going to get tired, man. A dude want to get up and start preaching some false doctrine to the sheep, man, or a child, man, you know what I'm saying? We're going to show up and chop them down, man. And that's just love for our people, man. That's the protection that our Lord gave us, man.
And by you saying that, you know, that's why, you know, sometimes I get in that spirit on social media because I see people carrying, you know, of the circumcision, performing and acting in ways that I'm like, hold up, man. I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, you know, whatever, man. But, you know.
You know what? I just saw. How can I say Salah? Because we went through it earlier in this in this lesson. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we are provoked to go and like get at somebody, and the Lord will prevent us for two reasons. One, you read it earlier or whatnot, right? Where everybody ain't given the same portion. You know what I'm saying? But like, and then we get into letting the dead bury the dead. But when you smell out a brother and you're not sure, we always go hands off because the Lord said, "Who art thou that
judge another man's servant?"
And when I see my Lord with his sword or his whip cocked back, I'm like, "Oh, hey, I'm cool," you know. And that's the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and they don't understand. Sometimes for you dudes, if y'all seeing this, man, we don't ride on you out of fear of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. But them dudes we know to be reprobates, oh yeah, we going in and we going to keep going in because they enemies of our Lord. And it says, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. Am not I grieve with those that rise up against thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies, man.
And the scripture comes to mind that there are different offices, you know.
You know?
Absolutely.
That goes to understanding, And let me bring this out, and I don't know if somebody has something after this, but it was up here. It was Philippians 4 and 8. Oh, you got something? Go ahead.
But no, I'll go after you,
No. I wanted this to kind of come, you know, saying toward the end. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews 11 and 36, and it says, "And others had trial of cruel mockings and of scourgings, yea, more so ever of the bonds and imprisonment." Right, so it's going into how we take these curses, man. You know, we don't do this for fame or riches. You know, you got carnal niggas in Israel saying that we look like bums or we need jobs and stuff. Well, if we didn't have a job, how do we buy our cameras? You know, how do we get to the you know?
How do we get the material for those who got our garments made? How do we get them made, you know?
Exactly.
How do we have?
We Skyping at the public library right now, man.
Right. We all in our respective cities on the library Skype, you know.
But hey, it's like this. Maybe they missed this verse. So Psalms 37 and 25. It says, "I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." I have seen I seen brothers homeless. I ain't seen them begging bread. You know what I'm saying? The Lord provides us with not too much and not too little. He said he gonna feed us with food convenient for us, man. You know? And like the ox said, man, the Lord said it'd be easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And that's not saying that a brother can't have a little something right now.
God.
But when this chip comes down, and y'all saw him, Salaki, y'all saw him bring down them ATMs in China during that big ass hacking issue. They brought ATM, China and Russia down. They brought down a railroad system. They brought down 2 shipping systems and one of the credit verification systems, which means when you got credit verification and it's froze up, that means everything stops. But they just ran a dry run on cataclysmically stopping all of this, man. You know? And in that day, what's going to happen is everything my sister got, everything my stepdad I seen yesterday got, right? He proud. Oh, I got like 130 acres and something close to $1 million in the bank or whatnot. I'll be wicked as hell, but hey, everybody going to be taken care of. No, dude. You know what I'm saying? Your son is not going to see that inheritance, man. Lord willing, you know, if I get to talk to him and he receive it, he might see a chariot and see the inheritance on the other side. Otherwise, he'll die right here with you for following in your ways. But you can't bring that in. But how is he going to keep that land? He going to tip up. How's my sister going to keep that $140,000 a year job? Lord willing, because it's still love? Maybe she don't. But if she get weak, she going to chip up. How much more so your Waynes and your Jay-Z's and anybody that got 40, 50 million, 10 million? But the bottom line being is that no man is going to have large money in the day of delivery unless he got a chip.
That's right. And then furthermore, like the scriptures even tell you, the riches will not save thee in the day of judgment, man.
Done.
You know what I'm saying? You will not be. Better yet, even Yahushua said himself, when he returneth upon the earth, will he find faith in the earth? Because there's going to be so much destruction. There's going to be so much poverty. There's going to be so much. The day of the Lord is going to be so crazy. Like the scriptures have said, it'll be like a man runneth from a bear, putteth his hand upon a wall, and a snake bit it. There's going to be perils everywhere you look. Done. You know? And he said, your riches will profit you not in that day, man. That's going to be all types of judgment. It's going to be a dude out here, right? He got $10,000 and shit, you know what I'm saying, on him, right? Starved to death. Or ran into the wrong 2/3 Jake trying to buy something from him to eat. And now you ain't got 10,000 no more. That was cash on you. Oh, you thought you was straight. You know, it's going to be one of these master preppers or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, got everything in the world in there. But one of his people betrayed him, let somebody in, and now all his stuff belongs to somebody else. The Lord said that you're going to store up riches and some other man is going to enjoy them. You know? That's right. But that money ain't going to help him no matter what it is. And in the day that the grocery stores, you ain't going to be able to buy no protection in that day. If it's a nuclear missile coming, what you going to do? What that money going to do for you?
A nigga might take that $10,000 just to feed his fire. You know, to keep the fire going.
Yeah, the scripture says to add sin upon sin, man. You know? Gun. Yeah, nah, that ain't it. Another thing gonna make this market be sweet, you know? They're gonna make it very sweet and reliable. You know, when they bring people to a low state, which is ultimately Yahweh Shami Al-Shai doing that, they're gonna make this market be sweet. You know, so a lot of people are gonna take it, man.
Gun. And a lot of these people have been made weak as of late. You know what I'm saying? While the Lord been out hardening us, he been weakening them. And so when all hell breaks loose, you know what I'm saying? Number one, we're gonna be in a good mood. We've been waiting for this, man. And then we see these people losing their mind. We see these proud bitches putting their head down. We're going to be in a good place in that day. But understand also this, right, that they're going to lose their phones. They're going to lose this and that and the other. And they're not going to take the time that we do to rejoice knowing that the day of the Lord is nigh at hand. And to rejoice that this witchcraft is coming to an end. They're going to want to do anything they can to be able to go back to the grocery store, to be able to get I got my iPhone back. I'm inside. I got to change my clothes. I got to shave.
The scriptures say they will lament. The scriptures say they will lament for the teats. You're going to see in front of your face, especially the nigga woman. She's going to revert back to being a little baby in that day. She's going to be calling for mommy in that day. There's all that pride you see is going to melt clean off their faces in that day, man.
She going to be just like that chick in Book of Eli. Like, please take me with you.
Khan, all that sugar daddy stuff, we're gonna be the new sugar daddies.
Khan.
We're gonna be the new sugar daddies, and we ain't gonna be like them sweet ass old crackers. We're going to truly want something from you, and you better be able to give it up. You feel what I'm saying?
And another thing is that it's not gonna be no Resident Evil type thing like Alice, man. No, it's gonna be a fucking Eli, man.
Khan.
You know, you see what happened when Eli encountered the man and the woman. You know, the spirit of the Lord wasn't with them, man, and they got jacked up, man. While Eli,
that's so and that's the truth. That's the truth.
He's like, it's none of my business, and he kept walking, man. He's like, fuck it.
Khan. And you know, Apostle Tahar said like last week or this week that through the Spirit, that character that Denzel was playing was Apostle Paul, because he said some things towards the end where he was like, "Hey man, this guy's playing Paul in this movie, man."
Gun. You know, and Shalak Yakim, if you don't have nothing else, this is Philippians 4:8. It says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, tahor, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things," man. You know, and the reason I put that out there right now is because, like, we looking at a goal, man. That's what keeps these people going, right? They're looking for this house or this car, this piece to get away from this dude, to get this bitch or that bitch. They all about their goals, man. But understand, man, our goal is that new covenant, man. Our goal is to be pleasing to our power, man.
Renewed.
You know? And you have to dwell on these things like a jealous bitch, or dwell on every other bitch in the world and her dude and all the wickedness she gonna commit and everything else, right? They want to be working on it, you know what I'm saying? And so when the Lord say think on these things, you know, sometimes the commandment, like right there, is literally just to think about all the other things that he done told you about, you know? And as we talk about, you know, that door about to shut, you know, we talking to them young brothers that may, you know, if there's somebody out here listening to this video or whatnot, and you haven't committed, we're not talking about whether or not you're sure, man. The Lord gonna talk to who he's talking to. But if you hear this word, he's talking to you, and you ain't committed, you ain't like getting at it, bro. You know, get at it, man. All right, because the time is coming up short, man. You know what I'm saying? For any brother that might be getting weak in the knees out there, man, and the shit is getting to you, man, pray for the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Call your brethren, man. Message somebody up, man. The Lord will send his brothers to gird you up, man. But don't get weak now, man. Don't step outside that ark, man, because that door about to shut, man.
This may be that video that very well wake up somebody to this and like, hey, man, this the truth. You know, we don't know what video we may put up may be that video that suddenly wake a brother up, man, or give that brother that's already in his truth that much more strength to continue on, you know.
Because mind you, what we're doing right now, every brother that is on this feed, what we're doing right now is what we're exhorting you to do. We're laying up treasures in the kingdom where rust doeth not corrupt and thieves cannot break in and steal.
That's right.
This is what we're telling y'all to do. Lay yourself up treasures in the kingdom, man. This world is getting to pass away. There's nothing left of this setup, man. It's just it's basically just circling the drain until finally it's just gonna drop straight into perdition, man. There's nothing out here. Please don't get weak and fall out. Right?
And then not only that, you got the brothers. Oh, Salaki, my bad, Doc. My bad.
You good, Doc? You got it.
I'm saying then you got the brothers that may not, you know, have the, you know, this may be the video that get a brother to do something with his talent and not hide it. You know, make it, you know, bring back double what Yahweh Shai gave you. You know, instead of sitting on it. You know.
Right. Yeah, because the Lord is an austere man. You know. And on that parable, man, in Salakia, man, they got to come out to him. But on that parable, man, understand, man, he said, I collect that which I have not sowed, man. Yahweh Shai sows to his men, and his men are supposed to sow to the sheep, man. You know? And understand, man, he said, if you love me, feed my sheep. You know, and that's what it's about. You dead right on that, man. Anybody got anything?
You got something to buy you?
I was looking at this to say what y'all
Bring it
talking
out.
about
Bring it out,
pretty
huh?
much.
Read it.
It's 2 Timothy 2:19. It say, nevertheless, the foundation of power standeth sure. Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity.
That's right.
That's it.
And that's a major issue, because what are we talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Being sealed up and being right and ready. Stop being a child and being a man, you know what I'm saying? So read that very last part again, Debaria.
It say, let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity.
Okay, so understand, man, like, dude, you can be out there calling on the name. I want to let you know, it says that every person that calls on his name shall be saved, but I'm here to let you know he will snatch that name out your mouth an hour and a half before he get here if he wish to do you that way. All right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And read that one more time, Oxalak.
We had to get though. We got to hear that one again. That was in your possible.
Because you learn what in repetition, right?
That's right.
The 2
It's a beautiful song, too.
2:19. It say, nevertheless, the foundation of power standeth sure.
Okay.
Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that name the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquities.
Okay. So when we talk about, crossing up these scriptures, when the Ox said don't add sin on sin, when we talk about, bro, if a nigga is eating pork, you're going to die when the Lord gets back. That's plain. All right, it's Isaiah 66:17 and so forth, and that we start in simple places. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, brother, it's good to see you with a beard, this and that and the other. But understand, when the Lord says depart from iniquity, we're constantly searching for shit that we're doing wrong. We're constantly seeking his forgiveness, his instruction in righteousness, and then thanking him when he gives us the power to be a man instead of the child or the nigga that we was yesterday, man. You know? And then understand that's what it gets down to. So for brothers that might have come into this thing and you've learned that name, but you haven't gone through and keep searching and keep refining and keeping yourself from this world, that's what we admonishing y'all to do, right? If you're going to call on his name, right, you depart from iniquity, okay? Because you can't cleave to both things, man. It's literally like trying to hold on to bumpers of two cars. Matter of fact, being tied to them and they driving in opposite directions.
Right? That's right.
You're going to end up ripped apart, double-minded, and dead.
That's right.
Flat out, man.
He that walketh out of the way of understanding remaineth in the congregation of the dead.
God.
That's right. God.
Remember that.
And I think I was telling my nephews and them about that today, because we was watching. We were just watching the end of the basketball game talking, and then they started showing North Korea with the missiles and firing off the missiles, and I'm on there like, man, that's beautiful. Let this go. And so my nephew then was like, "Damn, what you mean?" I'm like, "Man, I'm ready for this world to be destroyed because I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of all this wicked ways." And they like, so I walked away and they came back. They say, "Well, shit, if the world gonna be destroyed, where you gonna be?" I say, "Lord willing, I get to be on those chariots watching all this destruction." And they was like, "What you mean?" So I explained it to them, like, "Look, man, this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm in the streets with my brothers, preaching his word, teaching, trying to wake people up. Because if you know there's something out there that can save you from this, why would you not want to be saved?" And my nephew was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "That's why I do this. I'm trying to help y'all to be saved when this time comes. Because at the end, if y'all don't turn to this, y'all going to be destroyed. You'll be reborn again into the new kingdom. But who wants to go through that? I'm not trying to go through that fire, these missiles hitting and destroying this shit." So they was like, they just listen. Any other time they have something to say, "Oh, you crazy, this and that," but they ain't had nothing to say this time. So in a sense, I can feel like it may be sitting with them a little bit more, that they starting to see these rumors of war that is over now. I was like, ain't no more rumors of war.
Because it took something of that shock value for them to listen at that time, You constantly being in their ear wasn't enough. It took Esau's media to shake them up and you saying what you said,
God, and you compelled them. I'm just saying he compelled them because you spoke something that brought out fear. And when people see fear, right, and that's what it was saying, they see their consolation and their strength in us, right? Because when they see something fearful and you ain't scared, every man wants to be that man, bro. You know what I'm saying? When they see we ain't scared and they know that we're knowledgeable, logical people, then understand, right? They know we have a reason. and you gave him that reason, and that's your pop. Salaki, I need a second. Salaki.
Another thing is that I was asking this Jake, I'm like, don't you want to be safe from everything? And it's like, oh, if I die, I die. I'm like, but you don't want your death to be vanity. They don't care about if their death is vanity. So it's whatever, man.
God, exactly. Well, then also never forget the scripture even talks about how Yahweh Shai knocketh upon the doorpost. You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. Never forget, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So by you admonishing them with that fear, that was the beginning of Yahweh Shai supping with them. So maybe, Lord willing, your nephews are going to definitely fall right in line with you and want to get in line with you with this truth, because now Yahweh Shai is basically putting in their heads exactly what it is that they need to be. The only thing now is, you know what I'm saying, for them to be proven, to go through that hardship that's getting ready to come. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I just had to, and when I was talking to him, and I was like, look, this is why we do this. And so my nephew was like, I was like, yeah, we be on the street, like you be on the street. And I'm like, yeah, we be out here, and they try to remove us. So I happened to look at the video and show him how Esau, his centurions try to remove us out the street. And I say, look, man, I'm going to show you this to show you what we go through. We out. He was like, damn, y'all be out there cussing people out and compelling them. I'm like, yeah, that's what we are commanded to do. So we go out here and do this. And so he listened to the police say something. He was like, yeah, this law has been. I was like, now when was this law put in? And he say today. And then I say, you heard what he said, right? So then he keep talking and shit. Then he like, well, if y'all take the signs up, y'all can stay out here. I'm like, hold up, you just said.
Hey, he went from. My bad. He went from. People feel threatened by the signs, so y'all gotta leave. To y'all gotta leave. To y'all gotta take the signs up. To y'all got it's just for today because this law is new today.
Babylon. Wait, Babylon. The lowest level centurion, right, is making up his own laws and lying his ass off.
Come on.
But hold up. This is Salak. But no, this is something I have to bring out because the Spirit's been bidding me to do it for a long time, for a minute since this video started out. Why do you think that every single facet of Esau's setup, right, especially now, is dealing with trying to remove racism in this way, remove racism in that way? I've noticed on the news they talk about how a racial slur was heard, and so now this person was penalized for that racial slur. Yo, Esau is so much of a coward. He has to hide how he feels about this, man. Why? This is why he's being roused up the way he is. That was the whole point of Trump getting put in office, so that these bastards would think, finally, we get to really be racist.
Right. Part of it too is, you know what I'm saying, is they setting up the race war. But keep in mind, right, when you make a racial slur illegal, they're going to continue to do it cowardly like they did, but they're making what we do illegal. And they're training their centurions to approach us.
They just passed a bill about that, trying to eliminate that free speech. They just passed one bill. They're going to keep passing more, to get us off the streets.
To get us off the streets.
And there's a few cities in the Midwest where it's illegal to read the Bible on the streets, man. If Akim needed, I'll get the links for you, you know what I'm saying? But I seen the legislation, bro.
That's more edification for us. Definitely do that.
That's right, and I asked him that, though. I was like, well, when these laws, because I was more humble, like just trying to understand. I'm like, man, we was in the capital state, and we had the police come up to us before.
Yeah.
And they was like, as long as y'all got a clear walkway, y'all not doing nothing wrong, y'all could be out here. We just got to talk to y'all to make it look
and he really changed it up when I said, hold on, though. We don't have a loudspeaker. We don't need a permit. Right. We don't need a permit to be out here.
Right.
That's right.
It went from this law. So I'm like, it was crazy. I'm like, but when was this law made? Oh, today.
It was made on a Saturday.
It's newly implemented today. It was made on a Saturday.
On a Saturday, when their courts is closed.
Right. Yeah.
Ain't nobody talking about this today. That shit was funny. And then it was just crazy because we went from this. Then the other guy, like, well, we don't have no problem with y'all being out here. It's just they was complaining, saying y'all was rioting. No, what did he say? Protesting.
He said we was protesting and pushing the people. He said we was protesting and pushing people with the signs.
Pushing people. Just false witness. Like y'all wasn't on camera the whole time, right?
Right. Hey, what did the young centurion say? Y'all be safe.
Right.
But that's the messed up part. Y'all be safe. But does not the scripture say, the angels encampeth around them that fear the Lord? So we're always safe.
Hey,
And it's beautiful. Y'all said that. You talked to your cousin, right? And you showed him that video. Man, I was talking to my cousins yesterday, and the only reason they was out there because of that shit that went down I told you about, right? And, you know, brothers that can't hear it, they can't hear. You can't get 4 hours deep into a lesson with a reprobate. You know, and I'm trying to go with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And understand the Lord had to gather these two cousins from a total of 5,000 miles away from me. But they got them lessons, and you know what was cold about it was my cousin Will, he was like, man, even a couple years ago, and I had to go back to it because it came full circle. I remember seeing you out there, and then police walked up on you, and, like, instead of, like, running or ducking or anything else, like, you know, what niggas would do, like, you was out there in their face, you know? And I'm like, brother, you know what I'm saying? I got chariots sitting over me. And I gave him that scripture with Elijah, you know what I'm saying? How he allowed his assistant to see the chariot. I'm like, bro, I don't be worried about none of this. And I was riding, and he was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Because we had a little bit of the yah-yah, and you know, we don't get drunk. So I was like, bro, he was like, you riding, you don't be worried about the police, nothing. I'm like, man, look here, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said that these people were not a terror unto good works. You know?
Nope.
And I take him at his word. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when they were a terror unto me. You know what I'm saying? When your rear view, because you was doing wickedness all the time, your rear view see one of them, like I knew what their headlights looked like in the middle of the night, and you like, damn, and you shaking out. And I be looking at them now like, what are you doing here? What do you want? Like, but not, the Lord has taught me to temper my mouth because obviously, you know, you can't be going too far with it neither.
Too far with them, yeah. But
he said it's real quick.
As the scriptures have said, man, unto them that are wicked and evil messengers shall be sent unto them, man. This is why I cannot in any way shed a tear for these two, especially these 2/3 Eves that be catching their judgment through death. I'm talking like all these news articles and all these news stories about some female that was missing and then now she comes up dead. I can't feel bad for you because all this time you've been doing nothing but wickedness. You look back in your past, you've been with 6-7 different dudes, got freaking child support coming from 8 of them.
Wait, was a little bit short on a trip she wanted to took, so she faked a pregnancy and induced the nigga for abortion money.
I was hoping that Moab in that one video, I was hoping he slipped the leg around and throw that bitch in that rear naked chokehold in that that hair store, man. I was hoping Moab really went in on her, man, but he let her off lightly, man.
Let me bring this out real quick, because you brought that out, man, because people be like, oh, y'all rejoice, you know what I'm saying, in death, man. We know where it comes from, man. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 11:14. It says, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
And the scriptures tell you that the Lord is not the author of confusion. Anything that a man doeth, he is going to give account of by the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
You know what I mean? But when we see, like when we say we celebrate the will of the Lord and somebody died, we know that was his will. You feel what I mean? If the Lord made it his will for me to me working at $9 an hour in a freezer, that was his will. If it was his will for me to be sitting on this setup y'all see right now, making $38 an hour, that's his will. And it ain't about chasing the money. He set you up where he set you up. You know, and I knew off top, if he gave me a financial break, then I need to start looking with wisdom as to who I can assist with them finances and gird up for whatever's coming and look for a demon to come attack me from the other way, because they're going to keep coming. You know?
That's right. That's right. With wisdom come demons. And I dare anybody to tell me I'm wrong. Well, you have to be tested in this thing, man.
That's right. Oh, and Akim, I just want to say this to y'all, man, and you know what I'm saying, peace and blessings always, but like, man, just to be real, just to stand here, like, bro, you know what the Lord said about when demons occupy a house and that house dies? They seek through dry places searching for a home. And you know what I'm saying, the Lord helps us beat and overcome demons. But understand, man, when all of mom's demons, and they hiding in them fucking books and them idols, which I get out this house this week. But you know what I'm saying? But understand, man, our day was on me. When I say Debar Ban Yahweh, I could not speak a word on Tuesday. I couldn't speak, bro. He took my speech. I couldn't formulate like sentences in my head. And I'm like, be still, bro. Pray to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I went by this place, you know what I'm saying? And I seen, like, I had ordered my shit, right? And then I seen at the last minute that the beans might be suspect. You know what I'm saying? And I asked the lady, I said, do you put lard in your beans? And she said, no. She told me she didn't know, or she was just going to give me an answer. I threw that shit out. He said, take wine for a heavy heart. I had me another glass of wine. I went to sleep. And I woke up, I had my voice again. I called one of you out there, you know what I'm saying? But, like, it be demons, man. And they going to come, you know? But the Lord, like, when you got that helmet, like the little demon talking about, oh, why don't you eat the pack of salami? Nigga, are you serious? It's been 5 years. I wouldn't do that shit to save anything. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it, but like just the little shit, like all her little demons. You know what I'm saying? What does the scripture really say that? And I'm asking myself, like, nigga, you know what the scripture says. I'm like, oh, this thing. But you know what it was? It did me great because I was able to explain to my cousins and to my children, right? I was like, because my cousin's older than me, and I said, you know what? That light bulb that they teach people nowadays, ever since Einstein, right? That an idea popped in your head, and it's only one, right? They tell you that idea came from you. But I told my older cousin, I said, do you remember back in the day when they had the cartoons and they had an angel on one shoulder and a demon on the other? And I taught my daughter this, and I said, look here, we don't come up with ideas. If you wasn't thinking about it 3 minutes ago, it didn't come from you. So when something pops into your head, you're supposed to prove all things, make sure that it's on the right side. If it sounds like the scriptures, I'm messing with you. That's the voice of Yahweh Shai, one of my brothers. If it's against the scripture in any way, that's a goddamn demon. And that's spiritual discernment. And what I was talking to Michael, my cousin, about, I said, look here, man, you talk about practicing skills, right? And we're all, I believe, to be men, but we're young in this thing, okay?
Very.
You practice these skills for a little while. But imagine our children practicing to discern between demons and the Lord's voice from a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Right. Rehearsing these righteous acts 5 days a week instead of going and learning to be heathen and shit in these fucking schools, man. You know? And that's why I say Allah Maharab, man, come quickly, my Lord. Because the Lord gives you glimpses of how this thing is going to go, man. You know? And to have that discernment, instead of this fucking confusion these devils always selling with these weak-ass ideas, man. Allah Maharab, man. Lord, come quickly, man.
Lord, come quickly. That's what we pray for.
I got a precept just to talk about the death and the bad things happening to people. And you was talking about before when you was younger, you was doing shit you wasn't supposed to do and the police be behind you. This is Ezra 7:26. It say, and whosoever will not do the law of thy power and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death or to banishment or to confiscation of goods or to imprisonment.
And that's why these Edomites are sanctioned to put us in prison, to give us these fines, you know what I'm saying, to put a wicked nigga to death. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said that you can't be coming against the Lord first. And then he said, don't come against the king. And a nigga can't tell you what that means. It means the Lord's first. Follow all the lawful orders that a king gives you. The Lord is first. Right. And you'll never get away with defying the king unless it's in the name of the Lord. And he gave us a bunch of examples of that with Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego and the Maccabees and all kind of stuff. When men did defy the king and it was in the name of the Lord, then obviously the higher power prevailed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because at the very end of the day, even Paul said it, thou shalt live by the laws of the land, which once again goes back to discernment. Niggas don't understand the depth of what that's really talking about. Like the brother just explained. The Lord comes first in anything. So if the decree of the king is of the Most High, then guess what? You had better do that decree. You had better carry that decree out. But if that decree is wicked, then you rebel against it. The Lord said in the scriptures, think not what thou shalt say if thou art threatened with imprisonment, for the Lord will put it in thy mouth in that hour what thou art to say. Right. See what I'm saying?
God.
Right. The Lord resisteth the proud, man.
That's almost fit with what you're saying about, listen, I don't know why I just came across this. This is 2 Chronicles 30 and 12.
That's
they
the
all.
spirit. Get it.
Oh, Judah, the hand of power was to give them one heart to do the commandments of the king and of the princes by the word of Yahweh.
Okay.
By the word of Yahweh. many seek the king's favor, but judgment is of the Lord.
That's right. That's right. Well, and Khan, and I'm glad that brought out, because we're going back to some of the newer brothers that may be watching this, and I'm gonna say this: if you just stuck through this and you're a new thing at this, man, blessings to you, man. You know, and keep it going. But understand, right? When he say that, right, they can give you a decree. If you're the king and you want somebody to slave for you, right? That's a righteous decree. It's your kingdom. You know? And I want to caution you, brothers, you know what I'm saying, that would think that it's okay to be less than the best worker you can at work. He says, serve your other earthly masters as unto the Lord, man. We are supposed to excel everywhere we go. We shine everywhere we go. Daniel, you know what I'm saying, was esteemed by how many heathen kings? Every time somebody new came into power, they wanted him to be his top man. All right?
Right.
You know, and that's the point. I have been an invaluable employee to all of these demons that didn't have any right to be my employer. You know, and that's a point of humility, you know what I'm saying? It's not, and just for the brothers that have a division with that, it's not about us bowing down to these heathen. It's about bowing down to our Lord and being Yasha Allah. We outshine everything, and that's what we were created to do. Period. Consistently, constantly, we represent the Lord, man. You know?
That's it. We might as well close the book on that. The scriptures say, the scriptures even tell you, man, according to the curses, man, that for one of all things, you know what I'm saying, for raiment, for bread, and for one of all things, we should serve our enemy. So, like the brother just said, if a man wants you to slave in his kingdom, it's his kingdom. He can do that. He can give that decree. When it comes to falling off as far as certain pagan holidays, he wants you to observe this pagan holiday. He wants you to observe. No, you can straight up just be like, nah, F that. That's against this. You see what I'm saying?
When they be sitting down having their pork pizzas and shit at my job, celebrating somebody's birthday, right? My only option was to go back to work early. And guess what? I did it every time. And how you gonna get at me? UPS is done. FedEx is out. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on inventory right now. All right? Oh, y'all just got it from y'all pizza. Cool, man. I hope that pork fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
All day, every day.
Burn a little bit of diarrhea and shit, you know? Maybe some worms, you know? I'm sorry.
You know, Esau used them. Esau used them same scriptures.
And it's a lot. I just wanted to put that out there. Yes, I obeyed them and put curses up on them at the same time for their unrighteousness.
That's how you do it.
And I was going to say, Esau used them scriptures to keep the enslavers and keep us enslaved, and we were supposed to do exactly what them scriptures say because it was pleasing to the Lord. You know, there's no way we can duck what was already written for us to go through. You know, we're not going to find ways to have an easy route. You know, we got to endure all of it. You know.
Yahweh Shah is always going to be that ultimate example. What did the Lord say? The Lord said it pleased him that his son had to go through that, man.
Because he knew it was refinement, man.
That's what it was.
That's part of us carrying. That's part of us carrying that cross, man.
The Lord is pleased right now, man. Every time a brother make it through something and cleave to that word, man, the Lord is pleased, man. You know what I'm saying? The brothers that we got up there, you know what I'm saying, man, they applaud and singing behind it, man. You know, and we see enough beauty. I don't care about these reprobates, you know what I'm saying? To the pure, all things are pure, man. You know what I'm saying? And I see enough beauty, man, you know what I'm saying, in the light that you know what, I can deal with this darkness, man, for the time being. You know, because it is a beautiful light to behold, man, and it is pleasing unto the Lord, man.
Very.
You know?
That's right.
Come on.
And so with that,
giving all praise and glory, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai. All right, double honors once again to the elders of the great millstone and Ruwell. All right. And sincere ahab wa shalom to all of you out around four corners that are pushing this truth and sincerity, because I'm the one to speak and I'll never leave without it, man. Death to America, death to Babylon the Great, all right? And Kwam Bakar, Yasha Allah.
Kwam Bakar, Yasha Allah.
Mawat Babal, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatha, Shalom Labahoyam Shal Yasha Allah. Peace be unto the elect, the chosen of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalak Riyanwa, my wife, to all them wicked ass niggas out here, man.
Right.
Shalom.
Shalom.